Hi there, everybody. Great to see you. My name is Mike Petras. I am your Star Realtor here in Star and the Treasure Valley area. I am here with Ernest Woods, basically our local ambassador here in Star, which is really, really awesome.
I thought that was Mike Keys.
Mike Keys, well, no, he's our ambassador. Who runs the show? It's going to be Ernest Woods over here. He's also the admin of the Star Local Community News and Chatter Group. If you have not gotten on that group, you definitely need to, because that's going to keep everything here in Star at a focal point for you so that you know what's constantly going on with our community. I love our community. I live here. I know he lives here too as well. Ernest, tell me a little bit about yourself and how long have you been in Star for?
Well, I came out here in 2005. I was up on the Vista area close to BSU and got a degree over there.
Oh, awesome. What's your degree?
Communication.
Communications, fantastic.
Emphasis mass.
Emphasis mass.
Yes.
You know, hence why we got this awesome stuff coming up here for you too. What do you love about the city of Star in particular?
I like that it's small. Of course, everybody likes that. In fact, that's why we moved out here. It's small, and I'm from a small town. I'm originally from McCall, and grew up there in the 70s and 80s. And I just liked the small town atmosphere, and I'm very familiar with small town attitudes and just people in Idaho. I'm fourth generation Idahoan, so it just fit for me.
Absolutely awesome. I mean, that's what I love about this town too as well. The small town feel that it still has. It's awesome. If you haven't been out to Star, Idaho, you definitely need to come out and check this place out. That's why I call it home. What's really kind of awesome here that Ernest has got coming up is what's known as the Star Spirit magazine. It's about to hit the shelves here in about 1 week. This is also going to really kind of keep you in tune to what's going on in our local community. So tell us a little bit about what's going to be in the magazine.
Well, the magazine is going to try and focus on information that maybe a lot of new folks coming to Star are not familiar with. We got several directories in here. We got a city directory. We have a business directory. We have a church directory. Those types of things. And then we're going to cover, in each issue, we'll cover something nearby that people might not know about that they can go do or check out. For example, this issue, we got the long-billed curlew refuge. And I know this looks kind of funny. This is just a preprint before we actually go to press. This is what we use to edit, make sure everything looks right.
Fantastic, yeah.
But this story here is about the long-billed curlew. We have a huge refuge right out behind Star. It is open public land, and people can go out there, ride bikes, take photographs. And actually, if you're into shooting, you can do that across the street
right.
from the refuge. But
well.
right, yeah, you don't want to be out there on
yeah, probably not.
It doesn't say no shooting, but I don't know. It's a refuge, so
sure.
Probably better off to go across the street where they have mounds of dirt and you can shoot into the dirt with a backdrop.
But, yeah, absolutely, shoot in the backdrop.
Kind of not the point, I guess.
Well, cool.
But yeah, we got some advertisers in here. Little story on Purple Heart and Purple Heart history.
Very important to us. It is Veterans Day, by the way. Thank you very much to all of our veterans for your service.
Oh, absolutely. Happy Veterans Day. And also we have a story here on Pathways to Beautification, the local committee here in Star. And so this will be available at your finer local retailer. Finer local retailer here in Star. You can just walk in and get a free copy off the counter. And if you want, I'll mail you one, but I'm going to charge you big bucks because I don't want to mail you one. But I will if you pay for it.
Well, there we have it right there. Star Spirit Magazine is going to hit the shelves in about a week. Definitely stay tuned for that. And again, if you have not signed up for the Star Local Community News and Chatter Group on Facebook, please do so. It's definitely going to keep you in the loop of what's going on with our community. Thanks to Ernest here. One real cool thing that I actually wanted to bring up before we do end today's discussion.
Me too.
Yeah, exactly. Is this man over here actually helped cap the oil spill on the Deepwater Horizon in Louisiana. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I was offshore at the time. We were working on another project, subsea, and our boat got a call, and we went over to assist with that operation. I ended up staying out there for 3 months to actually help cap the well. And a lot of people say, well, why did it take 3 months? Well, because one, it was 2 miles deep. It was actually 2 miles from the surface to the floor of the ocean, where all the action was while the oil spill was happening. The other reason is the tools required and the technology required to do the job we had to do to stop that leak didn't exist. They had to be engineered, designed, developed, built, and deployed.
Oh, wow.
And we had a 70-ton claw, hydraulic claw, and it's got to operate 2 miles deep.
Wow.
Over the side, dangling from overside of a ship.
Sure.
And that's dangling off a 150-ton crane. You lower it down there. We had to design subsea hydraulics that actually sit on the ocean floor 2 miles deep. That's a lot of pressure.
That is a ton of
pressure.
pressure.
A lot of pressure coming down on that equipment. It just had to be designed. And then we take the submarines, we fly the hoses over, plug it into the claw so the hydraulics work. And the claw was to cut the riser pipe, which it's big enough a full-grown man can get on their hands and knees and kind of crawl through it.
Sure.
So that's a really big steel pipe, and there was 2 miles of that laying down there. And we had to cut that back and stack it. And you have to stack it because you got to pick it up and get it out of there.
Absolutely.
Can't leave it down there.
Yeah.
Now the Deepwater Horizon itself, we left it down there. How are you going to pick that up?
You can't.
But
yeah.
Well, actually, you can
Place
go
is
down.
a floating city. Yeah.
You can go down with submarines. We have diamond saws, diamond, and we can diamond blades. We can cut it up in little pieces, but it would take years, years.
Well, but it
years.
could also become a nice marine refuge, I'm sure. Just like a lot of other shipwrecks that that are down below the sea. I don't know how to really comment on that one. But
there's a lot of sea life down there. You'd be surprised, and you'd be surprised. I hate to say this, a lot of environmental-minded folks probably won't appreciate it. But watching that oil come out of that well with all of those lights, it was almost like watching a volcano. And as horrible as it had its own solemn beauty at the same time. Just visually.
Sure.
And there was wildlife, or sea life swimming all around that. And the oil is bad for the sea. But another thing that we found out, which we did not have at the Valdez oil spill, is now we have microbes that eat oil.
Oh, wow.
That we can inject into the oil.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, we did get a little bit of oil. The news likes to make it dramatic. You saw a couple pelicans, some wildlife on the coast of Louisiana. But when you consider the amount of oil that came out of that well, it was coming out at 4,800 psi per second. And when you consider the amount of oil that came out of that well and didn't hit the shore, BP did a tremendous job. They really did.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
In containing that oil, getting that microbe in there, and it eats the oil, it makes it inert, and it just falls to the seafloor, and it's just mud. And
well, that's a good thing that they definitely got in there and cleaned that up. And thank you for what you did. We, of course, very humbly say we're sorry about all the lives that got lost, during that tragedy too, as well. It was a tragedy. We've learned from it. We've learned probably some new things too when this happens again in the future on how to be able to deal with these situations. But we thank you for what you did.
But rest assured, there's no big secret cloud floating around the ocean out there.
No, probably not.
it's gone. But one other quick little point. One day I was out on the back of the boat and we were welding up the cap to go down and put on that oil well. Got it all welded up, got it painted. And I'm standing there, we're all kind of standing around because we've been working hard all day and we're all standing around looking at it. And when you work offshore, you always got a Sharpie because you got to have something that sticks, a permanent Sharpie, because you're just writing on everything. So I go over and I pull out my Sharpie and I start writing on the cap, and the big boss yells at me. He goes like, "Hey, what do you think you're doing?" And I directly looked at him and I said, "I'm signing my name on the cap."
Oh, wow.
And he says, "What are you doing that for?" I said, "Think about it. That thing's 2 miles deep. This has never been done before. It's kind of like planting a flag on the moon."
This is true.
And he kind of looked at me and he goes, give me that pin. And everybody walked over and signed their name on the cap.
Yeah.
So
I've actually seen photos of that cap. It's pretty interesting. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to this episode. Again, head out, see Ernest's stuff on Facebook, Star Local Community News and Chatter. Definitely come out and get the Star Spirit magazine when it is printed, which is coming up in a week. Again, my name is Mike Petrus. I am your Star Realtor here in Star and the Treasure Valley. If you ever need to reach me, you can reach me at 208-715-7827. And I look forward to taking care of your buying and selling needs in real estate. Thank you very much, Ernest, for being here. Absolutely.
Thanks, Mike.
And you and everybody out there, have yourselves a good one. We look forward to hearing from you next time. Take care.
yeah.